हेलो आ रही है आवाज?
Hello, guys, and a very warm welcome to the Cricket Cafe show. And today we have the episode 8 running. And again, we have Mr. Khurram with us from Hindustan Times, and again, Nishant Arora, who has been our favorite again for quite some time now, who is also there in the show with us, who will be joining us from Skype. So to start off with the show right now, we would want to talk about Virat Kohli, who's been exceptional for the Indian team, and of course, he's finished 200 games for the Indian team. And obviously the India-New Zealand series that's been going on as well. Okay, Khurram, to start off with, I would like to know from you as to Virat Kohli's meteoric rise that we've witnessed in the very recent past. Tell us about it. What do you think is the impact that he's having in the current Indian team right now with his batting and his captaincy?
I think he's got a lot of respect in the team, and the most important thing about him is that whatever he plans, he's very clear in his thoughts. I mean, his planning, his everything. I mean, if you see, even while he's speaking, he's very clear in whatever he wants to convey, and that always helps in the dressing room, because if you can explain to your players, to your teammates, that whatever, I mean, what you want from them, and you always set a benchmark for that. I think that always helps. So he's got those leadership qualities. He's aggressive. He knows how to get things done, and he sets an example. I mean, whether it's fitness, whether it is batting, and if you see this year, he scored 5 centuries. He's already got to 3100s, and he's closing in on Sachin Tendulkar's record. So that kind of statistics, that kind of aggression, that kind of clear-cut plans that he has in his mind, and if he's able to express themselves clearly to his teammates, I think that always helps, and that is why probably he's got a lot of respect from his teammates.
Okay, yeah, considering the current young squad that we have, he's really driving the team forward. Okay, but there's one question which I would want to put up to Nishant here. Nishant, it's a very straight question, of course, but I'd want to know from you, since you've actually been with us for quite some time now, and okay, Sachin has 4900s and Virat has 31. How many innings do you think Virat would take to topple Sachin Tendulkar and become the highest ODI 100 scorer of all time? How many innings do you think roughly he would be taking for it?
Well, in cricket, it's very difficult to predict all these things. But if you use your own logic, Virat Kohli made his debut in 2008 in one-day cricket, and this is 2017. He has taken approximately 9 years to get these 3100s. So on an average, he gets 400s every year. But if you look at last 5 years, he has got like close to 7 to 800s every year. I would think if he is still 19 innings away, it should not take him more than 3 to 4 years. 3 to 4 years maximum. If he keeps playing, if he remains fit, which I don't think would be an issue. And as I mentioned in one of my articles, which I wrote for Circle of Cricket recently, that his best is yet to come, because the conventional logic or the conventional wisdom is that batsmen peak around 29 and they continue to do well till 34, 33 if they are fit. I think fitness is not an issue with Virat. He sets those standards and he lives by them. His form, I think he works as hard as anyone else I have seen, probably more. So I don't see him taking more than 2 to 3 years if he keeps going. 3 to 4 years maximum if he keeps going by this pace.
Okay, yeah. Actually, we are wishing that he finishes off everything, and since he's been in great form, I'm sure he's going to do it very soon. And again, another question which I have for you right now is, since you've already spent so much time with Virat and the team, tell us something that really drives him to get such big hundreds that he does, and the kind of performance that he has in the team. So tell us your perspective and the kind of interaction that you have had with him, your understanding of how he has become such a big cricketer in such a short span of time.
I think with Virat, what has happened is there was a time when he had this self-realization about what he wants to do with his cricket and his life. And that, I think, somewhere happened between 2012 and 13. And then the 2014 tour of England actually sparked that entire thing. He realized that he has to make certain changes in his lifestyle, his cricket, his food habits, his everything around his cricket. He also very well understands that cricket is here in his life for maybe 15 years, 16 years. So he has to make the most of it. So what I see in Virat is that he doesn't take a single minute for granted. He just doesn't take a single minute for granted. Every moment of his life is planned and executed. He tries to be the best batsman, best captain, best teammate, what he can do as a Virat Kohli. And when he keeps doing that, he realizes that if he will do his hard work, if he will do all these things well, uh, results will take care of itself. I have never seen him bothered about the results. What I have seen him getting bothered about is the process. That this is this much I need to train today, this much I need to practice today, this much I need to sleep today, this much I need to eat today. So there is a very meticulous planning in whatever he does. He has compart. I think what I like about him also is that when you see Virat Kohli in dressing room, I have not seen such an organized player. Like the way he keeps his kit bag, just tells you his state of mind. His pads would be very nicely put in one place. His bats would be at one place. Every bat would be marked that this is my bat for spinners, this is my bat for whatever they do. His shoes will be lined up that these are my running shoes, these are my fielding shoes. His even his sunglasses, they will be put in a line. Nothing would be like that. हर चीज एक दूसरे में मिली हुई है ऐसा नहीं है और last minute में ढूंढ रहे हैं कभी नहीं होता. He knows where his things are exactly. That just tells you about the state of mind he is in. Uh, like his space in the dressing room describes the space he has achieved in his mind as well, which is like he knows that this is my personal life, this is my cricket, this much time I have to give to this thing, and this much time I have to give to this thing. And then you see if one is so organized and one is so committed, results are bound to follow.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I was actually expecting an answer like that since you've gone into a lot of insights as well. Okay, Khurram, again, another question for you. We've seen that Kohli and the team has been very, very dominant in the country, playing in the subcontinent, and they have a very tough away tours now when it comes to South Africa in the next season, and then England. What do you make of his captaincy then? Will it be a very challenging one for him, or you think India will continue to dominate as well in the overseas tours?
Well, certainly it's going to be very different because he has been captaining over these past few months in India, and if you see his centuries also, he scored five centuries, and these were all in the subcontinent. So when you are going abroad, you have a different. I mean, the pitches will be different, the conditions will be different, the players will be. I mean, the opposition will be playing at home. They would know they would know a lot of things which probably you might not, with which they might surprise you. So I think the biggest challenge for him will be to, as he was just saying, lead by example. And if he can get those runs, if he can keep scoring runs, if he can get those important innings and get those guys together, and he has got a very good side around him. I mean, there are a lot of players, there are a lot of options, and there are players who are always fighting for a place. I mean, you've got so many players, so that should be used, and I think that should help him to perform. For India to perform well. I think South Africa will not be that difficult because knowing South Africa, they're also going through a very bad time, and their batting is not that very. I mean, you don't have that much confidence. The middle order is struggling a bit, and South Africa. But England will be the real test. England, they will. They might. I mean, England is a very settled side, and you know the Indian batsmen they have got. In 2014, they struggled a lot where the ball was moving. I mean, if a little bit of movement in the air that can trouble the batsman, and we saw that. So England will be a big challenge. South Africa shouldn't be that because Indian batsmen did well in 2013. I was there, and the way Virat and Pujara scored runs at Wanderers, that just shows the amount of confidence they have. I mean, on those bouncy tracks are not an issue, but seaming tracks can be a little bit tough for them.
Okay, great. So from Virat Kohli, we'll now move on to the ODI series and T20 series that's happening with New Zealand right now. Khurram, my question to you here is: we've seen India doing pretty well. Of course, the series is tied 1-1. tell us about what you think would be the kind of result we'll see in the third test, the third ODI. Will it be 2-1 for India, or it's like India has a challenge, New Zealand can actually bring up a challenge?
Well, actually, New Zealand surprised everybody when they play in the Mumbai ODI, and that was Mumbai ODI. The wicket was slightly different. The pace was consistent. There was a little bit of bounce, so their batsmen didn't struggle that much. Once you came to Pune, once you come to other kind of wickets where the Indian spinners come into play, or Indian seamers also kind of do a little bit of tricks, so that kind of has an impact on the opposite, and that I think will give India advantage going into Kanpur ODI. The wicket, maybe the conditions, and obviously you have Kuldeep Yadav who's playing at his home ground, so he should be played, I think, in the final ODI, and I mean, if you see the Mumbai ODI, even against South Africa, India struggled a bit. So all these other kind of wickets, they will be slightly more conducive to Indian bowling, Indian players.
Okay, great. Again, India, the last ODI that went in, it was in Pune, and ICC had actually rated the pitch as poor because of the conditions that were there on the pitch for some various issues. I'd like to put this question to Nishant. Nishant, what are your views on this BCCI being very, very particular about their pitches and ICC rating them as poor? What do you think? What do you make of the rating that ICC has given to this the Pune pitch?
First of all, I didn't see anything wrong with that pitch, and also I didn't find that pitch 330 plus, which was in the news for all the right or wrong reasons. To be honest, sometimes I feel that what cricket is better. I always feel that a wicket where you get 250, 270 runs and other team finds difficult chasing them is a far better cricket than the cricket which we see now these days, where 370 runs are scored and other team still gets 350. It becomes a game between a lamb and a slaughters, where bowlers are just there to go and throw the ball, and rest is up to the batsman. कभी-कभी तो ऐसा लगता है 4 bowling machines लगा लेनी चाहिए और 11 batsmen खेलने चाहिए, because that's how the game has been made. If there are two in that match, one team got 240, the other got chased it. It's close to 5 runs per over average. So what do we want? The teams to score 8 runs per over and make cricket very meaningless. It's a game of bat and ball. It's a competition between bat and ball. And I think Khurram would agree with me that more often than not, if the balance is 60% in favor of bowlers and 40% in favor of batsmen, we see very good cricket.
Would you like to add on to what Nishant has just told about the
condition of the wickets that are being dished out these days? Yeah, I think that they've overdone this. I mean, overdone this whole entire batting friendly kind of surfaces that they've been producing, and initially it was to entice crowds to see to encourage crowds. Crowds wanted to see big hits, they wanted to see 6s, 4s, but I think they're doing it. I mean this is one of the problems that a lot of us, when we correspondents, when we go out to cover matches, we because every time say about 10 years back, when you were covering a match, somebody hitting a big 6, somebody hitting a maybe 2-3 sixes in an over would be highlight of the game, and then you would just mention that this guy had taken the bowlers bowling apart. But now it is happening far too frequently, and this is I think if we can get tired of this, we can get fatigued because of this, and I think viewers will also get. So I think what he said, that 60% and 60% to the bowlers and 40% to the batsmen, that will make an interesting contest, because then you are actually looking at the different facets of cricket. You're just not looking at slam bang cricket, somebody coming and hitting shots. And we need to understand that we've done this. We need to change the way cricket is to be played, or the pitches that are to be dished out differently.
Okay, great. So moving on to the third ODI right now. So of course we've seen Dinesh Karthik perform decently well in the second ODI, and for the same I'd like to ask Khurram this question of do you think Dinesh Karthik is somebody who can actually be a permanent number 4 for India, since there is no permanent number 4 right now.
This has been a problem. This has been a problem since 2015 World Cup. I think we've had around 10 or 12 or 11 number 4 players,
Correct.
4 batsmen at number 4. And Yuvraj Singh scored 100 about 10, 12 months back, and suddenly he's nowhere. So, I mean, number 4 batting, I mean, a batsman at number 4 is very key. I mean, he's like, I mean, top 3 or 4 are the ones who actually define your one-day innings, define a team's one-day innings. So, if you don't have a consistent number 4, it's a problem. I mean, I always believe that Ajinkya Rahane should have made a very good number 4. Would have made a very good number 4. He did that. He did a very good job of playing at the middle order in the World Cup. And he scored a very good innings again. He played a very good innings against South Africa. But somehow Virat Kohli is not that keen in keeping him in the middle order. They tried Manish Pandey, but Manish Pandey should be given maybe more time. I mean, he did well in Australia, scored a match-winning 100. But suddenly you see him playing a couple of one or two good innings this year, and then suddenly he's out. Then they tried Kedar Jadhav. Now they've tried Dinesh Karthik, so he scored 64. So I think there is a bit of uncertainty at number 4, and the sooner they fix it, the better it is for India, because it's a very crucial, it's a very crucial position.
Okay, great. So now moving ahead, Nishant, this question is again for you. MS Dhoni. So he only has 199 runs to go to touch the 10,000 mark milestone that he has to, and there are 4 games in this year. So again, some similar question to what I asked about Kohli. MS Dhoni reaching 10,000 mark. How soon do you think can he do it? Can he do it in this year as well, considering he has 4 more ODIs to go for?
For that, he would need some help from the top order batsmen. If they give him at least 15 to 20 overs every game, then only he will be able to get those runs. Else he will have to wait for the next year. So right now, it looks, I think, because at the number he bats in, it's little difficult to say that he will get those runs in 4 matches or 5 matches. A lot will depend on how much batting he gets. So that is a difficult one. But I'm sure the way he's performing and he takes care of 2 departments of the game, he will be there sooner than later.
Okay. And considering the fact that, like you of course said, his presence in the team is very, very important for the side as well. Considering he's been a very good shell to Virat Kohli and directing him towards various captaincy strategies. Great. Okay. Now I'd like to talk about the T20 series that's going to come, and my first question here would go to Khurram, where someone like Mohammad Siraj, who's been selected in the side. India does have quite a few pacers right now, and quite a few young pacers right now who have been doing well, with the likes of Umesh Yadav, Bumrah doing well. So do you think Mohammad Siraj is selected because he'd be given a chance, or maybe it's to groom the youngsters a little more?
Yeah, he's a perfect example of a player who's actually made a name for himself. He shot into limelight through T20 cricket, and obviously he did very well in Ranji Trophy. But the fact that Hyderabad as a state team has been passing through a lot of bad time, a lot of turmoil, and they in recent times, ever since VVS Lakshman after VVS Lakshman, they've not had a very good set of players who could carry them forward in Ranji Trophy. So I mean, Hanuma Vihari was there, but he shifted to Andhra this year. But so Mohammad Siraj is one player who's driven Hyderabad to quarterfinals, who drove Hyderabad to quarterfinals last season, and primarily because of that he got into limelight, and the fact that he had such an impact on a single person having such an impact on a state team, that always helps you get into the limelight, and that is probably why he's made the cut, because India's got a lot of good number of fast bowlers. So Siraj making it, I think it has got more to do with what he's done for the state team, and he did reasonably well in IPL also. So I think the fact that he should make use of this opportunity. Whether he'll get to play or not, that is still to be seen. But if he's able to make use of this opportunity, then obviously you don't know. I mean, what future holds for him, it could be really great for him.
Okay. Yeah, but considering that he's a very young pacer who has actually come out from very, very poor family and then coming up and doing well. Of course, he's obviously talked about his father now not being auto driver, and he's actually supported his team family really well after since the time he's played cricket for the IPL as well as the Ranji season. Okay, so the next question that I have is for Nishant. When we talk about Ashish Nehra, who's playing his final T20 at Delhi in the first T20 match against New Zealand, I would like to ask you, Nishant, do you think that Nehra would be a direct, obvious choice since he's playing his final ODI? Would BCCI allow that, or you think it's completely on to the coach and the management to decide if he's actually fit for the first T20 and his final T20 or not?
I think the way I have seen is that once the team is selected, it's up to the captain, coach, and the management to decide what their 11 would be. Selector's job and team BCCI's job is to give the 15, and it is the job of the coach and the captain to decide which 11 will take the field. So that decision completely lies with the captain and the coach. And if you see this entire thing, if he has been picked specifically for this, I will be very surprised if he's not in the 11 that day. If Ashish Nehra has announced that Delhi would be his last T20 match, he would be playing for the country, and he's retiring from all forms of the game, there must have been a discussion. Otherwise, you cannot just randomly say that that would be my last game. I'm sure there must have been a discussion, and that is why he has come forward and taken this decision. Well, it's still to be seen whether he features in that 11 or not, but I would be very surprised if I don't see his name there on that team sheet on 1st of November at Kotla.
And of course, someone who has had a career of 17, 18 years, and we of course know that he's been playing since the time Mohammad Azharuddin was the captain of the Indian team. So he definitely deserves to be given a farewell and a farewell game. So Khurram, if I had to as well ask you, do you think at the age of 39, 38, 39, or do you think he still has it in him to do really well in the shortest format of the game? And since India is of course missing a lot of left arm seamers right now, is he actually fit enough to play? And should he actually be getting the chance to play in the team and then get into retirement?
Well, if it is to get him an honorable exit, to give him a nice farewell, nice, cozy, comfortable, nice farewell in front of his home crowd, then I think he should be played. And he's got skills. I mean, you have to understand that he is somebody who's played for 17, 18 years. And somebody who's been for so many years, and he's gathered a lot of experience. He's got the skills to get batsmen out and all. But one problem that he always had was fitness, and he always made it clear earlier also that he's not fit for ODI and 4-day Ranji Trophy games or Test matches and all. This is something that you can look at it both ways. Whether BCCI did not give great farewell to other cricketers that went in the recent past, and maybe they're trying to correct that. Maybe they're trying to correct that mistake that we made, and they want to give him an honorable farewell. But yeah, he's got skills, and I think he has a lot to give to the Indian bowlers because of his experience. Maybe if he is around with the team all these months, he was around with the team, or maybe in touch with the bowlers, they must surely have picked a lot from him. So I think that way you can say that he's an asset to the Indian Cricket Board.
Perfect. And again, since the first T20 is in Delhi, I'd like to ask you, are you going for the game? Because I actually am pretty interested since we're already in Delhi. Are you going for the game?
I'm not so sure about it, but maybe, let's see. I mean, I might maybe watch it from television. I might be with you in the office, and I might just watch it on television. Okay. So,
okay. All right. So on that note, we come to a conclusion for the episode 8 Cricket Cafe. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for joining us, Khurram, and thank you for joining us, Nishant, as well. See you guys next week. Till then, have fun and keep following Circle of Cricket. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.